If you're wondering, as you watch the video here, why Steve didn't start speaking right when the video started recording, it's simply because of this. I wanted a drink of my coffee first. Hi, hello, and good morning. It's Monday, April the 13th. You are listening and watching on the YouTube channel called WoofBoomStudioB. My name is Steve Lindell. I'm wearing new pants today. I thought I should share. I may or may not bring that up on the radio live. We are at almost 8:04 a.m. exactly Eastern Time in Muncie, Indiana, USA. And when we hit 8:05, what's called is the opening billboard. We'll play on the radio. Aiden Foster, son of Al, is my producer in the Axia Command Center. And then we'll go through the 8 a.m. hour together, doing various and sundry sorts of things to inform, and I guess we could entertain a little bit, putting my coffee far away as I get the cans out here to get ready for live radio. You are behind the scenes. Aren't you excited? You'll hear what's going on in just a moment. This is radio, the original social media. That's all I got for now. We will get you radio audio in just seconds. So again, from Studio B, the closed circuit is ending. Now you're going to hear live radio.
Now, new, live, and local, and every weekday from 8 to 9 a.m. This is the show talking about what you want to know, what you need to know, and part of Woof Boom Radio's mission to use our voice to build our community. The all-new Delaware County Today, presented by Muncie Community Schools. Now on WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell. Busy week, Monday, April 13. Casa to benefit with a comedian in town. Bottom of hour, all things Lucius. That's fun to say. And he is back. He is the guy that is celebrated by at least one fan listening right now. Sister Sherry listening in the left coast. She's a real big fan of this guy, Mr. Paul Poteet.
Good morning. Did the wind wake you up at all overnight? We had some wind gusts that were up around 50 miles an hour. It'll still be kind of breezy for us today. Warm again, mix of clouds and sunshine, and a high near 80. There's a small chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the late afternoon and early evening hours. Otherwise, a low tonight of 67. And tomorrow, again, a mix of clouds and sun, and it's still going to be warm. High of 81 Tuesday. A few spotty showers and storms are possible in the late afternoon and evening. There's a small risk that anything that pops could become severe, large hail, damaging wind gusts. Better chance of showers and storms overall this week on Wednesday and Thursday. 79 Wednesday, 76 Thursday. We might pick up another inch of rainfall. The biggest weather story while I was gone on spring break was the almost total elimination of the drought in the last few weeks around east central Indiana, which is good news for farmers. Some more rain for the crops Wednesday and Thursday. Friday looks nice, high around 80, but then rain and storms on Saturday. That's WMUN Muncie weather. And now back to Steve.
All right, Paul, and I'm glad you are back. Hello, Mama in Minnesota, Roger, too, and many other listeners along the fruited plains and beyond the United States of America's borders. Now, our local news summary. These stories and more airing on all of our stations today and on WMUN Storms are possible just about every day in Indiana this week.
There is a threat for severe storms on Tuesday, focused mainly across the northwest part of the state. Wednesday, we may see that retreat back to the west into Illinois and then see some additional chances across the state on Thursday.
That's Mike Ryan, meteorologist, National Weather Service, Indy, who says winds will likely be lower than 30 miles per hour in those storms. The win Saturday gave Ball State its first MIVA regular season title since 2024 after they swept Loyola Chicago. Saturday at Worthen Arena, the MIVA tournament quarterfinals begin. 5 women were arrested in the past month in Noblesville after cops looking into prostitution at foot spas.
Noblesville police say they got complaints of what happened at Comfy, Longevity, and Lucky Foot Spas between mid-March and Monday. Jian Huabie, Li Juankong, and Shu Lian Lin, to name a few, were all taken to the Hamilton County Jail. Noblesville Mayor Chris Jensen said Wednesday they're arresting bad people and making sure they know this kind of stuff won't be tolerated in the city. Jake McDaniel, Network Indiana.
INDOT public meeting tomorrow to discuss a proposed roundabout at the intersection of US 35 and Delaware County Road 300 South. That meeting is at Inspire Academy, begins 6 p.m., doors open 5:30. Hoosiers are being warned to watch their phones as a new wave of phishing scams sweeps across Indiana.
Scammers are now sending texts and emails posing as court officials or toll agencies, often threatening legal action to force immediate payments. If you think you've been targeted, you are encouraged to file a complaint with the Indiana Attorney General's office at indianaconsumer.com. Jonette Cruz, Network Indiana.
It was bound to happen eventually. Sunday at Bristol was the place.
Blaney hugs the yellow line on the bottom, side by side. Ty Gibbs is a NASCAR Cup Series winner.
Courtesy FS1 in a green-white checkered finish, Ty Gibbs edged Ryan Blaney by less than a car length. It's the 23-year-old's first career Cup Series win. I'm Tim McMaster, Fox News.
If you've been putting off an expensive repair or purchase, you may want to know that your tax refunds are expected to be larger this year.
This is happening for a few reasons, says Larissa Ademits, an associate professor at Purdue University, including an increase in the standard deduction.
From $15,000 to about $16,000.
Ryan Hedrick, Network Indiana.
An estimated 5,000 visitors on campus Friday for the annual Ball State Admitted Student Day got tours of campus and encountered a small protest at the Scramble Light. The student-run Daily News posted a photo gallery showing displeasure with the Board of Trustees, the university itself, as well as Free Palestine banners and flags.
Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
Courtesy CBS, McIlroy finished one stroke ahead of world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who didn't card a single bogey on the weekend. I'm Tim McMaster, Fox News.
Despite everyday storms possible, it's going to be pretty warm all week in Indiana.
We're expecting most days upper 70s to maybe as much as mid-80s.
Mike Ryan, National Weather Service, Indy, says temps really won't cool back down until a cold front kicks in Saturday. Daniel Groulet speaking about the Muncie Erskine Green Training Institute.
And I like to say that EGTI is in Muncie, but Muncie is in the fabric of EGTI. Our students, they shop here, they volunteer here, they work here, and they are part of the fabric of this community.
He told the Muncie on the Move event recently that Saturday this week is an alumni event. They're seeking sponsor help. Get to know Brett Ellison today on WMUN's All Kinds of People.
Much like my grandmother was married to her business, I was whether it was when we were in business for ourselves or whether it was in other roles that I had, I jumped in with both feet.
That episode 9:30 today on Radio First, then on WMUNmuncie.com. BWI has completed work on the home court apartments at the Wigwam and hopes to begin application process this week. CEO Gary Hobbs told the Anderson Journal morning radio show that the next step is a public-private partnership to turn Anderson's historic gym into a civic center.
Fortunately, this Wigwam is in an area called an opportunity zone, and so we're looking there for folks who may have capital gains.
Indiana Democratic Congressman Andre Carson has issues with the medical care he's heard about inmates getting at the Miami Correctional Facility.
Carson went to the ICE detention center at the Miami Correctional Facility. He talked to 2 detainees there, and he says both of them reported inadequate medical care from ICE staff.
One of the detainees mentioned that they were very sick, and it took 2 weeks to get proper medical care, and that proper medical care looked like a few Tylenol.
Carson also said Thursday that detainees told him meals are often served at crooked times, such as breakfast as early as 3 in the morning. 2 detainees from out of the country have died while in ICE custody at the facility this year. Jake McDaniel, Network Indiana.
They tabled it 3 times, but now the Alexandria City Council has voted to raise water, stormwater, and wastewater rates. Harold Bulletin says the plan is for incremental increases through 2030.
President Trump travels to Arizona and Nevada later this week to highlight his administration's tax and economic policies, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says. With polling showing the president's approval on the economy slipping, both the White House and Republicans are touting policies in the One Big Beautiful Bill that eliminated taxes on tips and overtime. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Indiana Fever are building the future of player performance in downtown Indy.
Inside, a state-of-the-art recovery suite will feature hydrotherapy pools, red light therapy rooms, and specialized equipment to accelerate healing and prevent injuries. Renuka Bajpai, Network Indiana.
Emerald Suites, the show choir group for Pendleton Heights High School, has won its 2nd straight Indiana State School Music Association Championship. We have more local every day on our free WoofBoomNews.com. And live in Studio B at a news event that I covered for WMUN on Friday, strong words were shared about the subject of redistricting in Indiana. It was at the state legislative wrap-up lunch event sponsored by the Greater Muncie Area Chamber. And what you're about to hear begins with an audience question from Matt Kantz, and then each of the legislators' responses.
Not to be overly controversial, but for Representative Arrington, why is it okay for states like Virginia and other Democrat-run states to gerrymander their districts, but not Indiana?
Well, Indiana already had gerrymandered our district. This was additional gerrymandering. But really, when you look at who started this round of mid-decade districting, it was President Trump. It was Texas. Then California did it because Texas did it. And there was a lot of pressure on Republican legislators in Indiana coming from the White House to do it here. But, you know, the word that was coming from the people of Indiana was don't do it. And I really respect those Republicans who had all that pressure put on them that resisted and voted no.
State Rep Sue Arrington there.
Respond.
So it's
This is J.D. Prescott, I think.
You know, this whole redistricting conversation at the very beginning, you know, I didn't like the idea of coming in just mid-decade and setting a precedent, but that precedent was already set. And, you know, as I started doing the research on redistricting, as we was looking into it, having this discussion, you know, one of the key factors that changed from 2021 to this past year was the Supreme Court decision that now said we can gerrymander for political reasons. So, you know what, when we had the opportunity, the court said that we can gerrymander for political reasons. See the opportunity to get rid of 2 Democrat districts. I represent a 70-30 Republican district. I want as many Republicans in Congress as I can. This is the tool that we have at our disposal as a state. So I took that opportunity. We voted out of the House, and unfortunately didn't make it across the Senate. But when you look at what other states have done, California's gerrymandered for years, Illinois' gerrymandered for years, You know, Representative Arrington says our state gerrymandered. If you go back and look, our maps are the cleanest cut. We had this discussion a couple of years ago, and we had maps that I brought and asked you to hold up at which one was gerrymandered. And you go back and look at the way the Democrats carved up our state years ago. They gerrymandered the heck out of our state. So if you look at what we did in 2021, we tried to follow the letter of the law the court opinions changed since 2021. What's happened in the political climate in other states going around and doing the mid-decade redistricting, that changed. So the precedent was already broken. We could come in and gerrymander for political reasons, and I want as many Republicans in Congress as possible.
That's J.D. Prescott. I think Elizabeth Rowe is next here.
I'd like to respond to the pressure received from the White House. The White House, nor anyone who represented the White House, ever reached out to me about my vote. There were three people that reached out to me personally to ask that I vote against gerrymandering. Two of them did not live in my district. The overwhelming majority of people that reached out to me were in support of it in my district. I would also like to say that in some areas there were petitions that were being distributed for people who were against it. And we became aware that some legislators were actually asking people to sign petitions, even going into a local YMCA and asking people to sign the petition asking for a no vote.
Senator Scott Alexander, I believe, was the final one to speak.
And I think this is kind of typical of the other party. So 8 states on the East Coast have gerrymandered so that they have 0% Republican representation. You've got California. And look at the maps in Illinois. I really didn't even think that we were going to talk about this today because I thought this issue was behind us. But now that we are, we're going to finish that conversation. Look at, if you want to see gerrymandered district, look at Illinois. And look at how many, I think it was 17 or 18 counties have voted to try and remove themselves from the state because of Democrat leadership, if you call it that, over in Illinois. So I'm not going to go on and on about this because we've got other things to cover. But it was very clear that things in Washington are messed up because we've got 0 representation coming from 8 states on the East Coast. California, who had already gerrymandered again. Illinois, Minnesota, you name them. And just look at the way that the blue states are running. I mean, look what's happened in Minnesota. I can guarantee you, as long as I'm in office, I will make sure that we are not Minnesota.
Those are the words of Senator Scott Alexander. We'll wrap that up and
give a
bring
brief
that
response.
audio down.
Thanks, Matt, for staying away.
Take that audio out. We wanted to bring you that entire segment from a Friday event called the Legislative Wrap-Up. Tomorrow, we'll share some more audio that I covered from that event, including the topic of property taxes and the disagreement heard between State Rep Sue Arrington and the other legislators there. That'll be tomorrow morning. All right, lighter side of news includes comedy. That's coming next on Delaware County Today from WMUN.
Let me share the story about a man named Phineas who, as a child, survived the Holocaust. Phineas survived because Christians hid him from the Nazis, risking everything to save his life. Today, he is in his 80s. He can no longer stand on his own or leave his home in Israel to receive medical care. And when sirens sound and missiles fall, he cannot get to a bomb shelter for protection. But once again, Christians are helping to save his life.
Through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a mobile clinic brings doctors and medicine right to his home, providing care he wouldn't receive, especially in wartime. Christians saved my life during the Holocaust, Phineas says, and now again they're helping me. As Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day approaches, we honor survivors like Phineas, not just with words, but with action.
Give $45 right now to rush life-saving essentials to the vulnerable under fire. Call 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-IFCJ. Or go online at ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org.
Hey, listen up. Take the next step toward your future with an affordable online degree or certificate from University of Maryland Global Campus, an accredited state university. Classes start May 13th, and when you apply now, your application fee is waived. Choose from over 135 skills-based programs. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Don't forget, save now with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Visit umgc.edu to learn more.
Too many families face a widening gap between what they can afford and what they need to thrive. More than half of families in the U.S. today are one paycheck away from financial crisis. At Good 360, we deliver hope when families need it most, providing essentials like clothing, hygiene items, and household goods. Put help within reach. Learn more at good360.org.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
Getting closer to bottom of hour when we will welcome in Lucius talking about D20. Hold on, it's going to be fun. Now, let's talk about a Friday event, Stand Up for Kids, comedy event in Muncie. WLBC's Gary Joseph interviewed the headliner.
Joining us is a well-known name in the comedy world. He's an Indianapolis native who has reached millions with his viral videos and his hit Amazon Prime specials, What on Flat Earth and Crooked Ginger. He's also the host of a popular horror podcast, They're Coming to Get You. He is headlining the Stand Up for Kids comedy night at the Cornerstone Center for the Arts Friday, April 17th to benefit Delaware County CASA, who are dedicated volunteers serving as the voice for children in the foster care program. Brent Terhune, welcome. Thank you so much.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
What is your comedy history in Muncie?
Yeah, Muncie, I started stand-up when I was 16 in high school as a sophomore. And then pretty quickly, when senior year, I learned that there was a comedy scene up in Muncie. And it was, people closer to my age. So I would drive up to Muncie, I think every Wednesday, and perform. It was a place called MT Cup in the Village, but I would do that show and any other show that popped up in Muncie. And I specifically remember one time I drove up and did the show, and then my thought was, man, I got to get home. I got to do finals tomorrow. Actually, I just remember this. I was going to go to Ball State. All my stuff was sent in, and last minute, I switched to University of Indianapolis. So it was almost me and David Letterman.
I'm talking with comedian Brent Terhune about the first annual Stand Up for Kids comedy night happening Friday, April 17th, the Cornerstone Center for the Arts. The night supports CASA volunteers who serve local kids in the DCS. Why was this a cause that you wanted to get behind here in the community?
I mean, I feel like it's a win-win for the audience and for the kids and for CASA. The people coming to the show are getting a show. And then on top of that, all the funds, everything that's raised is going to a good cause. I've done CASA shows, whether it's for Delaware County or elsewhere, for a while. And it's just sometimes you just get asked to do a show and you realize it's for CASA, but it's court-appointed special advocates. So it's you're helping people in the foster system. It's just like, I love it when I can take my talents and pair it for a good cause, because at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everybody, and we're helping people in need.
What's the biggest surprise about seeing your full show live?
This show, I think the flyer, I'm looking at it now, is that says 18 and up, but it's not going to be like a filthy, people, they hear, oh, it's comedy, and then you picture Comedy Central at 2 in the morning with all the bleeps. And that is not my show. It's going to be for adults, but we're not super filthy, and we're not going to, I don't think if you brought your grandma, she's going to be leaving mid-show. So that is the thing. And it's also for charity, so we're not super filthy anyway. But I think, I've been doing comedy. I think I just hit my 20-year mark, and I feel good as a performer and also as a joke writer, and I'm pairing that well together. So you're going to see a good show, and I'm bringing my friend David Brooks with me, who is a regular opener of mine. And David is a guy who has a backstory that he benefited from stuff like CASA. So you're going to leave the show, and you're not going to be disappointed that you spent your money and your evening with us, which to me is all you can ask for. Is you can leave and say, I wish there was more of that, and I was glad that we spent our time here.
I'm talking with comedian Brent Terhune about the first annual Stand Up for Kids comedy night happening Friday, April 17th, the Cornerstone Center for the Arts. For the listeners who want to keep up with you, what's the best way to find you?
Yeah, the hub for all things me is brentcomedy.com is my website, and that's where you can find podcasts and all that stuff. But I have specials on Amazon and Dry Bar Comedies, and there's no lack of me. So if you want to find me, I am able to be found. But it's brentcomedy.com for everything.
All right, so that is a fantastic event that's happening in Muncie for a fantastic reason. Thank you, Gary Joseph, for giving us that interview and audio to do today on Delaware County Today. Stand by, more in a moment. Just say Lucius. He'll be standing literally by in a moment in Studio B on WMUN.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my run in PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, I mean your best night ever, then you gotta hear this. There's a great ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their ED pill called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in as little as 12 minutes and lasts up to 12 hours. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. You need to try it for yourself. It's unreal what it does to you. Viagra AGV crushes every other ED pill, and it's endorsed by the head of urology at the prestigious Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Beverly Hills, Dr. Dudley Danoff. Every man alive needs to try this amazing, remarkable Viagra AGV pill at least once. It's beyond belief. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't miss this. Go to scoreblue.com and try it while supplies last. Go to scoreblue.com, scoreblue.com. That's scoreblue.com. Viagra AGV is available only at scoreblue.com by prescription, no doctor visit.
Let me share the story about a man named Phineas who, as a child, survived the Holocaust. Phineas survived because Christians hid him from the Nazis, risking everything to save his life. Today, he is in his 80s. He can no longer stand on his own or leave his home in Israel to receive medical care, and when sirens sound and missiles fall, he cannot get to a bomb shelter for protection. But once again, Christians are helping to save his life.
Through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a mobile clinic brings doctors and medicine right to his home, providing care he wouldn't receive, especially in wartime. Christians saved my life during the Holocaust, Phineas says, and now again they're helping me. As Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day approaches, we honor survivors like Phineas, not just with words, but with action.
Give $45 right now to rush life-saving essentials to the vulnerable under fire. Call 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-IFCJ, or go online at ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell. Presented by Muncie Community School.
More new experiences in Studio B with a standing guest. He's tall in and of himself, but now I feel quite diminutive because I'm looking up to Lucius Connor. Hi, Lucius.
Hi, Steve. You're awful tall yourself, so if you were standing, we'd be eye to eye.
But I don't know if I can reach all the buttons, though, if I'm standing. That might be the next level of experimentation here.
Do we need to get the standing desks that go up and down?
They're really pretty high already. I don't know. I'm just glad that you're here because life is stressy enough. And when you talk about the D20 Dungeon, you're not talking about a video game. He gets really mad at me when I said that by accident once, and now I bring it up each and every time because I'm just trying to raise his dander just a little bit.
You just clenched. Now, to be clear, I've got nothing against video games. It's just not what we do at the shop.
Understood. There's the word secret on your website. I'm bringing it up now. The D20 Dungeon is a unique thing in Muncie, Indiana, and a sponsored segment here with Lucius Connor, the owner of Viking Realty, too. But what he really likes to do is in the basement of that building, and that's what the D20 is all about.
So actually, a little exciting news.
Ooh.
That is migrating to the first floor as well, because we are opening a local game store. And we are in the process of building that out right now. We want it to be just as immersive as the dungeon. So one thing that everyone loves about the dungeon is how immersed you get in it, because it just takes you right out of life, puts you in this environment where you get to just enjoy your time. We're taking that to the first floor where we are opening a local game store, but we want it to be just as engaging and immersive as the basement.
You never just sit, do you? I mean, no pun intended. You're always moving and motivating.
It turns out when I sit, things hurt me, so I just want to keep moving.
I was told to ask by my producer, Aiden Foster, who is listening now in the Axia Command Center, and I quote, "What class do you play?" And he said you'd know what that means.
I do know what that means, and I think Aiden would know that I've played for a while, which means I've covered a lot. My most notable character is a Goliath Barbarian. I think that's the average starter class. So I think that was my first character. Right now I'm playing an Artificer. So it's about...
a what again?
An Artificer.
An Artificer.
Yeah, so imagine like a mythical engineer. I'm a little goblin type character. I'm multi-class, which means I'm a rogue and an artificer at the same time. And the story is all about him just building just maniacal devices to defeat monsters and enemies.
See, this is the kind of thing that, first of all, I am thankful for having access to the mind and brain power of people like Aiden Foster, my producer this morning in the Axie. He is the son of Al Foster, I'm sure you're aware. Al Foster, who has what I believe to be a pirate radio station in Muncie, Indiana. That's a rumor that I started on Delaware County Today.
Oh my.
D20 Dungeon. So, Lucius, hold on a second here. I'm looking at my notes here. Something about a secret thing, a secret one-shot something on your website. What is that?
Okay, so we are doing a fundraiser. This is probably one of the coolest fundraisers you've ever heard of, all right?
All right.
So we are doing, so you're probably looking at the secret door, the secret dungeon, okay?
All right.
But what we're doing is we're actually running a fundraiser here in conjunction with the Yorktown Public Library.
Okay.
Where we're using these one-shots. You can sign up on the website. You can check out our socials, whatever. You can sign up for a 2-hour slot. Now, here's the coolest part, right? You can go and play. $60 a team. You go in, six people, you play for 2 hours. Okay. You and I, depending on who's playing, can donate money to either help or hinder what they're doing.
Oh.
So, of course, we want to punish our friends because that's just what we do, right? So
wait a second. Did we get that as a drop? We want to punish our friends. Listen, Lucius Connor on the quote there. Go ahead.
Listen, it's $10 to aid your friends. So think of the Hunger Games, the little floating parachute things that come in.
Yeah.
You can send aid to your friends. You can pay $10, money to a good cause, and help your friends.
Okay.
Or you can pay $20, and you can sabotage them. Which is just incredibly exciting.
So the bigger donation is for the sabotage. Am I hearing that clearly correct?
Yes, because we want to torment our friends. It's what we do. We love them, but we want to see them suffer at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand it. This is Lucius Connor, sponsored segment D20 Dungeon this morning. By the way, happy belated anniversary, Viking Realty. I saw a post recently.
Thank you.
How long has it been from the original business?
Roughly 100 years. Yeah, in real estate years.
Is that how it works?
Just 100 years.
The mathematics working out in that fashion. Okay, so this fundraiser thing, is there a specific date and time that it's occurring? Is it overtime, or how does that work?
I should have been more prepared. It is. I think it's Saturday. I think it's the 24th April. It's a Saturday coming up in April. I think we got 2 weeks or a week and a half until it's due.
Okay.
It could be this very weekend for all I know. I'm so bad at dates.
You know what they could do? They could just go to the website that they're looking at now on Studio B's video feed, and you can remind them of the URL, please.
Absolutely. It is d20dungeon.com, d20dungeon.net. Either one works. Takes you directly where you need to go.
Very good. This is Lucius Connor. He is our guest on WMUN. We are in Studio B. He is the first stand-up guest We've had a lot of stand-up guys.
I was just getting ready to say, you beat me to it.
And stand-up gals, but he's the first stand-up guest. We're very proud. We like to extrapolate. We like to experiment. We like to try different things. So thank you for being my guinea pig on this particular situation.
I'm glad I could accommodate.
What is the number one question that those that have not yet encountered D20 Dungeon, what is the number one question that you seem to get, Lucius?
The phone call that I get all the time is, do you have to understand how to play in order to come to the dungeon? And the answer is absolutely not. So while you can rent the venue and come in and do your own thing, if you're unfamiliar with the game, if you're unfamiliar with how to play, you can rent a professional DM to run a party for you. I encourage people to check out our reviews online. Absolutely stellar reviews. Our dungeon masters are absolutely phenomenal. They are going to put on a show for you. You are going to have a great time. You can do that in blocks of 3 hours, essentially. On the website, we've got it set up for 3 to 6 hours. They'll play all day. They will play all day because they just love to play. They love to do this. They're storytellers at heart.
Again, the acronym is the thing. DM is Dungeon Master. I didn't know that until he had talked to this fact about me for, 5 or 6 times. He's Lucius Connor. He's a specialist.
We're nerding you up.
You're whatting again?
We're nerding you up. We're going to get you there.
Nerding me up. I learn something new every time you're here. I love it, Lucius. The dungeon masters themselves, the ones that they're visible on your website, you can kind of see their faces and some of their little bio stuff. They're all creatively written. I love it. How does one become a dungeon master? Is there an application to fill out? Do you just show up and show your nerdiness? Help me out.
It's
here.
Trial by fire. It really is. I mean, these guys have been telling stories. So we have probably combined almost 50 years of experience in dungeon master. Throughout the 4 individuals that are working with us directly at the dungeon. These guys have been playing Dungeons & Dragons probably just as long as they've been alive. They're just naturally storytellers. They love to read. They love the different stories that they can tell, and they really dive into it. But really, you just play for so long until you feel like you have a story you want to tell, and then you take the reins and you struggle through it for the first several years. And then eventually you become a master, just like anything else. Just time, experience, and trial by fire.
Understood. You told me last time you were in here, you've expanded into even more of the birthday party realm and those sorts of gatherings for a specific reason. For those that don't know how that would work, tell them how that works.
Well, let's just say you have a kid in your life or a person in your life or really anybody. We've done all kinds of parties at this point. But you have someone in your life who enjoys Dungeons & Dragons. They enjoy stories. They enjoy theater and theatrics. This is the perfect place to throw a party. You hire one of our professional DMs. You come to our venue. We can offer you little add-ons. Like we can make the experience special. We've got special cookies. We've got special cakes. We've got special birthday invitations. It's a perfect place for you to throw a small party, very cheap, very good value, have an absolutely phenomenal time. As a matter of fact, most of the time people come in, they start throwing a party, and then they end up coming back every month. They're like, you know what? This is just a regular part of our life now. And that's really what we're here for. That's what we love.
It's got to be gratifying to have that kind of, to give that kind of fun to the people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we absolutely enjoy. This whole building now is about gaming for the most part. We want to have a good time. We want to enjoy our friends, our family, and that's what this is all about.
And the merch and the retail and the upstairs thing, you said the expansion is underway. When will people start seeing sort of those things come to fruition?
Well, since we're really bad at locking the door, a lot of people have seen it already. But we should be well underway. We're about halfway through the retail setup now. So in about 30 days, we should be good to go. It should be open to the public. We're going to do a little bit of a soft launch, make sure we've got all the kinks worked out, and then we'll be announcing a grand opening for everybody. But we really, really want to make sure that when you step in those doors, it's an experience that you will never forget.
That's great. Congratulations on the success and the fun so far of D20 Dungeon.
Thank you.
And thanks, of course, also for your sponsorship of our radio station. We love talking about you and your great local business work. It's really cool and fun. And then the realty part is pretty darn cool too.
It's a pretty cool part. It's funded this entire adventure, so we appreciate the support. Yeah. We're having a lot of fun now, so we're hoping to just keep both trains on the track.
All right. Lucius Connor is our guest. D20 Dungeon. For those watching the video replay, you are seeing it now. Feel free to visit the website. Even better, visit in person. They love giving tours. Hold on. Delaware County Today continues with more in a moment on WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Monday, April 13th, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. Indiana's ag bioscience sector encompasses more than 5,400 businesses and establishments, employs more than 152,000 workers, and contributes an estimated $22.4 billion to the state's GDP. A new report out from Agrinovus, Indiana, takes a closer look at the industry and opportunities, which CEO Christy Wright says are enormous.
It's such an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be in Indiana right now. And if we do this all right, then Indiana will be the heartland's answer to Boston, to California, to North Carolina.
The city of Gary is continuing efforts to redevelop the vacant Genesis Convention Center property, and 6 developers have come forth with proposals for potential uses. Earlier this year, the city issued a request for proposals for an adaptive reuse of the facility or new development on the site. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Indiana, start your engines. Join us from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA. All month long, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, features, and a behind-the-scenes look at how the business of motorsports and racing drive the Indiana economy. Business at the Brickyard. It's front-row access you won't want to miss.
Here in Muncie, we know what it means to show up for one another. We celebrate our wins, big and small. And when times get tough, we lean in, not away. At WMUN, we're more than just a voice on the radio. We are your neighbor, your friend, your connection to what matters most. Every morning, we wake up with you, sharing the stories of our city, highlighting the heroes you don't always hear about, and cheering on the teams that carry our hopes on their shoulders. This isn't just news and sports. This is home. From the streets of downtown to the heart of Delaware County, we're here because you're here. Thanks for letting WMUN be part of your day. We're proud to be your hometown station. Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community School.
Mr. Tom Campbell, likely listening right now. I think he does every day. I mean, who doesn't? For heaven's sakes, if you're not listening, we might be talking about you. I'm looking at the stream feed there. You see Los Angeles way left coast, bottom left of the screen. Chicagoland is seemingly always on. Thank you, Chicagoland. And others are clicked in and clicked on. We have far more audience and listeners on terrestrial radio. That's 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and all the rest. Before we go much further through the hour, let's get a snapshot of your day today.
It's April 13th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Scrabble Day, named for the birthday of creator Alfred Butts. It's the iconic board game where you spell words with letter tiles, hoping for that Q or Z to land on a triple-letter score. Also on this day, at the age of just 21 years old in 1997, Tiger Woods won the Masters tournament. Not only was he the youngest to ever do so, he was also the first African-American to win it. In 1970, a problem in space that resulted in a famous quote.
Houston, we've had a problem.
That's astronaut Jack Swigert. Apollo 13 crippled after an oxygen tank exploded, but the three-man crew did return safely to Earth. The story was turned into an Academy Award-winning movie in the mid-90s starring Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, Ed Harris, and Gary Sinise.
3 hours by the checklist. We don't have that much time.
I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, I just realized over my shoulder here that the video feed has been changed. One of the technologies that we have in this vast array of buttons and stuff in front of us, and that's as specific as I can get, includes a different sort of a wipe feature. Someone has changed that. I just noticed. I kind of like it. I'm going to change cameras right now just so you can see what I see. Look at that in Studio B. This is WMUN's Delaware County Today on WMUN later on this morning. In fact, just 12 minutes from now, we'll hit the top of the hour. And you're going to get our weekly program called the 765businessjournal.com radio show. Lethea Pegues, the Sauce Boss. He is not a sponsor of the program, but he could be now that I think of it. Anyway, he's the host with the most. He tells me he has 2 guests coming in. Top of hour 9 to 9:30. The live weekly show is from our main studio in WMUN and part of Woof Boom Radio. Next item, and this is the week, the tax man cometh.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
Taxes, topic du jour. As filing day approaches, nearly 3 in 10 voters say they are okay with the amount they pay. But of course, most, 7 in 10, say their taxes are too high. That's a new record in Fox News surveys going back 2 decades, and it's up 11 points since last year. Also, disapproval of the Trump administration on cutting wasteful government spending is up 8 points compared to a year ago. That matters because the amount voters pay Uncle Sam is not what bothers them the most about their taxes. Only 14% say that's their top annoyance, while twice as many say their biggest beef is how the government spends their tax dollars. The most common complaint, though, is that the rich aren't paying enough in taxes. Overall, about 4 in 10 feel that way. That is mostly driven by sizable shares of Democrats and independents. I'm Dana Blanton. That's your Poll Paris.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, Tony Katz today, noon to 3, today and every day, though he will be interrupted by Ball State baseball a couple of times this week. I'll share more about that coverage, which is made possible by automaticpoolcovers.com. He is back. Yes, he is. Paul Poteet reported earlier this hour, like he always does, hourly weather updates here on WMUN Studio B, where I reside. And one of the things there is a talking point or two about is growing concern over glare from new, brighter headlights.
It's Fox Wheels.
It's a major roadway distraction that's often out of driver's control. Blinding LED headlights coming right at you or from behind. With a AAA survey showing 6 in 10 drivers saying that glare is a major safety issue after dark, forcing drivers to either look away or turn away rear-view mirrors. Safety experts say taking your eyes off the road to avoid glare is dangerous. Though despite public concerns, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says legally compliant LED headlamps improve overall visibility and road safety, noting that current data does not show a significant correlation between LED headlight glare and traffic crashes, according to a recent Autoblog report. Though the agency does say it's assessing further studies on LED headlamps and may take additional steps based on those findings. That's Fox Wheels. I'm Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
On WMUN from Studio B, you're looking at a larger part of the room right now. You can see what we see in Studio B. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. What you need to do is go to YouTube and look for the channel WoofBoomStudioB. My mama asked yesterday, is that something that I can do, Stephen? And I said, absolutely. Technologically apt mama, that she is. Let's get to the next item this morning. If you haven't signed up to be a donor, health officials hope that you will take a moment to do so this month.
This is House Call for Health. April is National Donate Life Month. It was started by Donate Life America and partner organizations back in 2003 to raise awareness about organ donations and encourage everyone to register as eye, tissue, and organ donors to give the gift of life. This year's theme is using trees as a symbol of life and connection as they grow and support each other, just like donors, recipients, and their families. There are 100,000 people on the National Organ Transplant waiting list, and there's a subset awareness campaign during the month as well. April 19th to 25th is National Pediatric Transplant Week. Registering to be a donor is a quick and simple process. You can do it online through your state's registry, on the Phone Health app, or at the DMV when renewing a license. You can get more information at organdonor.gov, or for more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
On WMUN, final item for your Monday. Doing great in Idaho from November of 2025.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A boy from Idaho who invented an entire special needs center to share his birthday party makes today's Dean's List. Grant Mullen likes to join his dad volunteering at a center for people that live with challenges. His father believes it's important to get your kids involved with community early on in their lives, and he's seen firsthand how it makes a difference. Grant's experience has definitely made an impact, so much so that when his birthday was coming up, he asked his parents if he could invite everyone at the center to come celebrate with him. And when he was asked why he wanted to have everyone at his party, he says because maybe they don't get invited to as many birthday parties as they would like, and he worried that perhaps they didn't get as much love as they all deserve to have in life. The birthday celebration, by the way, was caught on video, and everyone was having the greatest time with no one feeling left out. Grant Mullen, you made today's Dean's List. Janice Dean, Fox News.
And that'll do it for today's program. Every day live on WMUN from Studio B. You're looking at a picture of a bunny in the background of a previous guest. That is Brad Robertson. As we were getting ready for a live interview in the Zoom room. We got a lot of different ways to talk to people. You can reach out too. Just get with us on the email, the Facebook, or the whatevs. You will see us at the grocery store too. For Aiden Foster, my producer in the Axia Command Center today, I'm Steve Lindell. Back again tomorrow from Studio B for Delaware County Today on WMUN.